Welcome to 2025 Girl Talk, Teatime. I'm Lyn Vargas.
Keith Maximillian.
Tiffany Sowersby.
Frances Carr Dunn.
We know you've missed us. We know we've been away and we feel like you've been away from us and we've been away from you, but we finally come back. There's been a lot of things going on in Los Angeles that have almost stopped the entire entertainment industry, but we're here to give you the latest and greatest tea in pop culture today. We're gonna do the best we can. We're gonna give you the ups and the downs and the lows and the highs. And let's start off by talking about Orange County Housewives. Okay, so I just heard that they kept the same exact cast. What do you guys think of that?
Big mistake. Big mistake.
Really?
Yes. Because I'm sorry, it's getting kind of boring.
Boring.
I mean, I've heard enough about Tamara being so judgmental and, stop that drinking with Shannon. A big mistake. Like, switch it up a little bit.
I agree. I think it's getting pretty boring too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It's something exciting.
Yeah.
You never liked Katie.
It's not even, it's just these topics are getting dragged out. And same goes for, I'm sorry to get off topic, but Beverly Hills, it's like, how long can we talk about a text message? 3 episodes? Like, I'm getting tired of it. We need to spice it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I agree. Keith, you don't even watch Housewives. By the way,
Watch Housewives.
okay, so we have this whole new format we were gonna start season 2 with. We had this whole idea of what we're gonna do. It got shot out the window during the fires. People are scattered, crews can't come. So we just decided to stick with the format we know and love. And that's a group of us getting together, shooting the shit and giving you the drama that you need. So it's Girl Talk, Tea Time with Keith.
With dudes. With a dose of testosterone.
With a dose of testosterone. We've got Frances Carr Dunn here today. Hi, thank you for coming, darling.
Thank you so much.
She's with Coldwell Banker. She is a real estate advisor and has won the Ellie Awards in real estate for the last 5 years.
Yes.
Explain that.
Yes. So basically, it's just, it depends on what your sales and actually how you market and brand yourself as well. So if you have brand recognition with the public, that's actually puts you like a little bit on top. And so they say it's 10% of, everyone's a realtor.
Right.
Everyone's a realtor. Sorry.
Right.
I love that I'm a realtor, but everyone's a realtor. But it's the top 10% of all the realtors.
Wow. So we get the top 10%, ladies and gentlemen, and later on live, or actually I shouldn't say that, sorry. We get the top 10%, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited that you're here today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
And you're going to be a regular.
That's what I hear.
Live at 5 every Monday.
I love it. A little bit of real estate stuff going on.
What do you think about the real estate agents that are giving out free commissions to all the fire stuff? Just out of curiosity.
When I first saw it was Oppenheimer. I saw him doing it, and I thought, and then Gina from
Gina from Orange County Housewives.
I think first of all, as a realtor, you're supposed to be serving your clients, right? And so
it seems a little predatory, though. At my point.
Yeah, and I just feel like you're opening up yourself with a can of worms because you start doing all this work for free. Which I get why they're doing that because they're trying to get business, and they're actually helping people. Which right now, so many people are out of their homes and with their homes being burnt up. So I don't know. I just think it's a little
tacky.
I'm sorry. I just do. I just feel like
Did you see Oppenheimer go on? I guess his friends got robbed yesterday.
His friends on the show.
Yeah.
On the show, and the police, Los Angeles, he said that they had defunded down to only 9,000.
Like 8,900 cops.
8,900 cops for the entire Los Angeles area, and they couldn't come for days.
Like 2 days.
No.
They said we can't come to your
They
house.
stole everything out of his friend's house.
Oh.
And left their
pleading.
dog on the street.
Yeah, left their dog on the street.
It's so sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did they steal the dog?
No, the puppy was just wandering the streets. So, they
They
could've-
probably opened the door. The dog probably just got out.
At least they found their
robbed.
dog. Yeah, but that's sad.
Yeah.
They can't come for days?
Yeah, they said they couldn't come for days because they defunded the police in Los Angeles. But let's get into that later. I want to get into the juicy little pop culture right now, okay? Because I haven't talked pop culture. I've been missing my juice, my slime, my tea you need. Okay, so you don't like the cast of Orange County Housewives right now. You wish they would have revamped.
Well, I just think it's the same story playing over and over and over again. I just think, Tamara love her dearly, but it's like, move on. And she keeps harping on the same thing over and over and over again. I just think it's futile, And I just don't think I actually love Emily, though. I love her.
You can't whisper because everybody can.
Oh, sorry.
Don't tell anyone. Whisper as much as you want. It's gonna
come back to you.
I just think they need to and plus they're all, the only one who's Emily is married. Tamara's married.
Well, no, aren't they separating?
Oh,
or is that
Tamara's
rumor
separating?
mill?
Who?
That Tamara and her. Maybe
I
that was
don't
fake
know.
news, but I saw somewhere on Facebook it said they were separating.
Okay, so all of Beverly Hills,
Oh.
when we get to that, they're all single right to me.
They're all single,
I
right.
think
Yeah.
I think Orange County, they're pretty shacked up, right? Wasn't Vicky was? Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, Vicky's not
Vicky,
coming back on, right? Vicky's not coming back.
Tamara has her husband. We're the worst at
temporarily.
You know, I mean,
Okay.
that's how boring they are. I don't even know.
This. Katie has her husband.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Emma
Okay,
has hers.
Jen is now, she's getting married.
Is she going to go through with it, you think?
Well, no, because there's that whole extortion stuff, right? Like,
But it's okay, so
do we know?
we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
And they kind of just dropped that whole thing. They dropped the ball on us and didn't really kind of get into that. And I think the reason they didn't is legality purposes. I mean, I have to tell you what, you in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. And I haven't seen anything really that connects him directly with any of that situation, except for that he knew the guy. I haven't even seen online the actual account that the money went into. So
Well, yeah.
to blame him and say he was a part of it, it's hearsay as far as I'm concerned right now. Let me see the proof.
Or it could be guilty by association as well.
That as
So
well.
you can be an accessory to a crime. Like, yeah, I didn't do anything, but I was in the car
yeah.
after they robbed the bank. You know what I mean?
But
So
what do you guys think about Shannon coming back again?
I think she's actually one of the most interesting ones
Yeah.
right
She
now.
is.
Yeah, and she wasn't before, but now, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
yeah she is.
Yeah. I think that, who else do they have coming back? You got
What
Tamara.
about Jesus Jugs?
No, Jesus Jugs isn't.
she's not. Yeah, she's not coming back.
Yeah, you
Trying
can't
to
come back
come
from that.
Yeah.
When you
Kinda
step
like
on a
the
woman
train
that
wreck.
hard.
I like watching
Yeah.
it.
The Jugs
Yeah,
TV.
it's like,
Yeah,
I like the
yeah.
drama there because
Yeah.
Yeah,
that drama was good.
they
That
actually
season
they're gonna have to
was
spice
great.
it up. I just don't think it's that interesting. Like they need more
Yeah.
drama.
But Orange County's never that interesting.
It was
Hello,
back in the
it's
day,
so
I
not.
think.
Really?
Yeah, like
Did you ever see it, Keith, as a
I've watched a
dude?
couple, and I'm forced into it.
Your girlfriend's made you
I'm like,
watch it.
God. She's like, I'll watch some action show if you watch this. I'm like, fine.
You're like, okay.
oh, watch a movie.
I'll watch blood and killing. I just want to watch one housewife.
I think guys have a secret obsession with housewives, in my opinion. but,
I think they kind of do because whenever I watch it, so my husband makes fun of me. He's like, "You're burning your brain cells every time you watch it." I'm like, "I know, but I just really like it."
But he's there
And then-
watching it with you.
Yes. And then I turn around, he's like, "Watch it." He's like, "Oh, she looks terrible," because he's like nitpicking at all the girls. Like,
Yeah.
she looks terrible. She looks good, and I'm like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Okay, so let's fast forward. Let's go to Beverly Hills. Now, Beverly Hills has some juicy drama with Kyle and
Yes.
PK being friends.
Yes.
Dorit not liking it. I am on Team Dorit on this one.
Me too.
I have to tell you, when I was separating from my husband, these hoes, well, I'm not calling Kyle a hoe, but these women that were friends chose him over me that were supposedly my friend because they were like buddies before,
Yeah.
pissed me off to no end. Because that means whenever I'm in a girl group and she's there with me and I'm thinking I'm confiding in them as a girl group, they're going off telling my husband.
Oh yeah.
So I can't imagine. I understand why Dorit is so mad. Do you guys am I alone in this?
I think if the roles were reversed, like if Dorit was talking to Mauricio,
oh,
Kyle found out, we would totally hear about it. All the girls would band together against her.
Yes.
So I don't think she would do that, but it's just like 3 episodes of this shit. I'm sorry, I'm getting bored. Like one text message, 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Like,
they
I
did
just-
draw it
come
out.
on,
They
Bravo.
did draw it out.
Sorry.
But Keith, let me get your opinion. So as a man, if the roles reversed, you're getting divorced, whatever, and your best friend's girlfriend is reaching out to you like, "Hey, just want you to know, everything that you and I talked about is just between us."
Don't
Like-
ask Keith.
You know,
You don't want to.
No, we want your opinion.
No, I want your opinion because
What's your opinion?
It's the same thing. It's a divorce or just having a relationship, right? You introduce that person to your friend group, and then your friend group decides to side with her after you guys break up. So I've had it both ways, but it's I feel like the women usually get to keep the friends unless they're a very close friend
Yeah.
with the guy.
So the fact that she's friends with PK is very odd to me. Like she should have chose Dorit as a
100%.
girl's girl. That's what
Right.
girls do.
Right.
You can't claim you're a girl's girl. And I like Kyle, but I don't like this situation. It kind of made my skin crawl because of my divorce. So I was like,
Yeah.
just hit me wrong.
I think the majority of women who were in relationships felt the same way. Like, that's not girl code. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
And then, no disrespect to men, but I feel like men, like by her reaching out to PK and saying, hey, you know, and everything you and I talked about, it's just
between us.
It's between us. I mean, do you think that PK may be thinking, well, maybe this is an opening?
I think.
Yeah.
Because I think men,
what happens, right?
right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like men are like, oh, I mean, who knows what PK? is thinking.
That's super code. That's
Right?
against code. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people, like, I've had friends that do that. Like, there's always like that little thing, and then they'll start talking to him afterwards, like, "Oh, I'll just be your friend," and then it's like, "Let's go out to get some drinks."
Right. Next thing you know, it's like,
Oh,
oh,
wow, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wait, how was that,
I'm just being
Liz?
friendly.
I'm sorry. I was playing Dunkin' Donuts with myself. Okay, let's go on to Blake Lively.
Ooh.
What is going on with she and Justin? And did this really happen? There are some rumors that supposedly he harassed her. She's got, Taylor Swift, who knows who.
Does she have anything
You can't
to do with
trust
this?
Taylor Swift as far as you can throw her.
Yeah.
She's like literally PR
Dragon.
manipulative. She's a dragon. She's a dragon.
Employee of the NFL right now. What are you talking
Like, I know.
What I mean is she's a master PR manipulator.
Yeah.
So you can't trust a word that comes out of her mouth or that she does. So she's like buddy with Blake, and then Blake's husband, he's master at PR too. So then you got these guys ganging up on Justin. It's his movie, and Blake's not getting the attention she wants. Is this? I think Blake's full of it. That's my take on it.
I just want to know, where do they come up with the figure of $400 million? Like, that is such, that's what the lawsuit is that he's suing her
He's suing
for.
her for, yeah.
400 million, like, show me the numbers. Like, I don't see how this adds up to 400 million. It's pretty crazy.
Well, he still directed it and produced it?
Yeah,
So he still gets the royalty. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's a lot of money.
I guess you could just pull numbers out of your butthole
I
these
know.
days.
Well, I
and
mean,
be
in normal lawsuits, you don't say, "Okay, I'm suing you for 20 million." Like, it's just a lawsuit. Damages are
Yeah.
determined later. Like,
Right.
so it's usually just a PR scenario of how much. Like, you don't get sued, and then they ask you how much. It's a demand that's put on.
It's like with the Charlie Sheen and Amber Heard.
Right.
Wasn't that like 400 million or something?
Yeah, that
200
was
million?
a
Crazy.
great trial.
Yeah.
The trial with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
It's kind of similar though.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. It was similar to that.
Yeah, because it's a
I
smear
wanna-
campaign.
I want to know what Amber Heard. I like. Does this
Did she ever
girl have
pay?
like a platinum vagina? or
I know.
something?
I know.
mean, like,
Did she date Elon
Elon
Musk?
Musk, Johnny Depp.
Johnny
like-
I think he gave her a kid. That's off record, but I think he did.
Who, Elon?
Musk. Yeah, you can go down that rabbit hole, but
Elon?
yeah.
Amber? Are you kidding?
Yep.
You gave
That's
Amber Heard a
I think
child?
he did, and she's kept her mouth shut about it.
You're supposed to come on my show.
Supposed to give her a kid. And maybe me one
Yeah,
too.
but then it would be named like asterisk X, Y, and Z.
Exhibit.
Get over here, asterisk.
Oh my God. That's
Hashtag.
hilarious.
Get over here, Occupy Mars.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about ASAP Rocky. Do you guys keep up with this?
A little bit.
Okay, so ASAP apparently, he's Rihanna's boyfriend. They got a kid together. He apparently pulled a trigger, shot some dude, but he just pleaded not guilty in court, and now he's going to trial instead of taking the plea deal,
Yeah.
which is
Scary.
scary, but he is in LA, and LA has guess who running the LA,
Yeah.
and guess who goes free? Most people.
Most people.
So I think the chances of going free,
Well, they have a new DA now.
do they?
Gascon is out.
You think that's going to matter?
Well, I mean, okay, so here's how this works. Like, you could still be guilty, and the guy could literally have pulled the trigger, but it's all about like evidence and if they can get it thrown out and if the police screwed up and like, so it's just, if law is about how much money you have, not about if you're right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, look at Michael Jackson. You remember like his whole situation where like he was feeding some kid wine
Yeah.
and the attorney decided to call it Jesus juice. Like, and the whole jury's like, oh, it was Jesus juice. That's why. Don't worry about feeding this 9-year-old bottle of wine. They like converted the whole thing into like, it was all about
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
now. Like,
yeah.
so they do the same thing. Like, it's all about how you manipulate the jury. Like, as an attorney, like the joke is like, if you're on the jury, you're too stupid to get off it. So it's not like you have the 12 most intelligent people known to man. Like,
right.
so
So what do you think happens? Because he's saying it was a fake gun.
well,
So-
like I said, can they? There's so many different things that jury can
Wait,
throw.
spin
Like,
it. Oh,
if you
it's just
plead
my
guil-
toy gun.
It's my toy gun.
Yeah, if you plead guilty. So just on a side note on that, like with all the Jan 6 guys that got all these these federal charges, it's very expensive to fight federal charges, right?
Yeah.
So they give them this like, okay, well, we'll give you 10 years, but if you get guilty, you could do a life. Like,
Yeah.
so like, okay, fine, I'll take 10 years. Like, or you have to have $500,000 to be able to defend yourself.
Yeah.
So you just take those plea deals. But like if you have money, you don't need to do that.
But what if this is the year that they're finally like, screw it, we're gonna nail people to the wall?
It's LA. I doubt that. I wish that would happen.
You
But
don't
then think
it's
about
gonna
how much
happen?
money he really has because he has Rihanna backing him, and she is worth
Oh, yeah.
double, triple what he is. So it's like they've got so much.
Yeah, I mean, all
money
it takes
to
is
fight
like
this.
one juror to mess up and a mistrial. And
Okay, let's talk about the juror selection. Apparently, there's not one colored on the jury.
Oh,
It's all white, and
really?
yeah, how did
I know
that
that's
happen?
right.
How, you know, I was thinking-
How'd that work out?
But how is that even possible? I didn't think.
I mean, I guess jury selection is not like that. You have a pool of people.
How does jury selection work? Can you explain that? You're a lawyer.
So it's voir dire.
I'm a lawyer.
Voir dire, they give it.
Sorry, Harvey.
The Harvey Weinstein.
No, Harvey.
Harvey Levin, right? So like so you do voir dire. You have like a whole jury pool, and they they ask them questions, and if the pool happens to be 80% white people and 20% black people, like those 20% might not answer the general questions correctly. Like, do you have a problem with whatever, and then they're off anyway. So now you're just dealing with those white people. But it's just a matter of it's luck. It's not it's not like they pick. We need 6 black people,
Right.
5 white people. Like you try to.
They're making it a big deal
Right.
though that there's no black jurors. So that's why I'm just
I
curious.
mean, it's just the pool. You can't claim that white juror is
There's no, like, affirmative
disregarded because
action.
he's not black. Like it's not. That's not. You can't do that. I mean, you can argue that
But
later on.
can they postpone his trial if he requests black jurors?
No, because the jurors are the jurors. Like you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Jurors.
You don't get juries. Your jury pool is your jury pool. You don't get to like pick and choose, cherry pick which jury. After that.
I thought that
Well,
they
they
do
try.
pick. Though.
They do,
They
but only from that big jury pool.
Right.
Is it so that
But then you-
each side gets to pick one?
So you have
They,
you can
Explain this.
So you can.
Explain this to the audience because people don't understand this.
So with the jury, you can. I forget what the word is.
That Keith, you're coming in handy
No,
today. Girl talk.
You can have an automatic. There's automatic like jury cancellation or like get them off the jury if they're like prejudiced or like and they'll ask them silly questions. And then each attorney gets to ask them a certain amount of questions.
Okay.
So if you can't just you get like a certain amount of just automatic, you're off. Right, I don't think without any questions, but then the questions have to be relevant to what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But there's like a science behind jury selection. Like it's like you get a PhD in jury selection. They hire people to help select the juries.
Right.
And you have to go deep into the emotional mentality of it. Like, how do you know someone's got 5 kids and they've been married 3 times? Like, do they like guys? Do they not like guys? Did they have a spouse that used to beat them? Like, it's like one of those things that you have to get so deep in there.
Yeah.
To find out like into their brain to figure out how they would evaluate certain situations.
So the jury that they picked was actually hand selected by both parties.
Right, and I mean sometimes you're out of your your preemptive selections, and then you're pretty much screwed with whatever's there. So it's kind of a dance,
Wow.
so to speak.
Well, the whole thing started with, I just found out earlier, that is because his friend had wanted him to contribute towards a funeral. And then he got mad and decided to like take out his fake gun and shoot him. So, I mean, the whole thing of, he's got so much money. Why would he not want to, right?
With a fake
I don't
The fake gun.
Yeah, stupid.
It's like, really?
I don't think that people, it's just like, it's that mentality. I mean, you don't think 5 seconds down the road of how this is going to affect
If you
you.
have a kid and a life and he's got sponsors and to me it just seems so irresponsible.
It's an emotional reaction, right? I mean, especially if you're talking about someone that's like,
Yeah.
so I think people get emotional and they're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that.
Artists are emotional. They are truly emotional. That's a perfect example why you need take 5? Take 5.
I mean, how many times you sent a text message or like you want to send a text message like, God damn motherfucker. And you're like, hold on, let me get this out. I've done that so many times. I'm like ready to hit send. It's like a full page. I'm like, oh, I got to take a breath. And then I like delete the whole thing except for like 3 words. Fine. I'll be there.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about, now I don't know, I know some things about sports, but obviously Super Bowl's coming up. Okay, so we've got the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, and he's got some special guests coming on. Is anybody excited about Super Bowl this year?
I wanted the Bills to win. And so, I thought that
So
would
no
make for
Eagles
a
or
great
Chiefs?
Super Bowl.
I just think, I mean, I'm a bandwagon sports fan. So either way, but
You're a bandwagon. I love it.
I just like go sports. But like, I think I just hate the Taylor Swift
I
aspect.
know it
But
drives
that's
me
the only
I,
thing.
I really hate. I wish they would have lost so you can see her walking off as a loser. Like I just wanted to watch that. Like
Ruin that confidence.
Yeah, right.
knock her down a couple.
dare
pegs.
Your high horse,
down
your
a couple
successful
pegs.
horse. Take her success.
Kill that dragon.
I see her
Kill that dragon. Kill that dragon.
I think it's great that she brought in a lot of a different audience that watches Super Bowl because of her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I hope that people don't, that new audience doesn't start complaining when people are farting and shitting and burping and beers flying everywhere. Oh, this is so
Taylor
gross.
Swift audience. So
Yeah.
those are more like the
No. What I mean is I hope Taylor Swift's audience doesn't complain when the dudes
when the dude, yeah.
are, farting and pooping and,
Hold on,
and screaming.
You
and-
just stereotyped a whole lot of football watchers. Wow. I don't think it gets worse of a stereotype than that. I mean, like beer drinking, fraternity guys, like farting,
farting, shitting.
all over the floor, like
Barfing.
there was a huge thing though. Like, didn't the Chiefs have like a bunch of bad calls or like good calls?
No,
on
I
their
think
side?
like Vegas is like, and them are in cahoots when there's
Right.
this spread, someone takes a knee. Like, don't bet on the
Right.
Chiefs. Like, it's just the worst.
Yeah.
They're in. Something's going on
Yeah.
there.
They had a picture of was some meme. It was Mahomes and two referees in the jacuzzi after you win, celebrating with your boys.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, okay, there. I'm not so bad, okay? Just keep going on your jokes. I think men poop. I'm sorry.
You don't.
No, not at all.
No, that's the dictator guy. Whatever, he doesn't poop, right? Okay, so enough of that. Let's talk about, now, this isn't really, I guess it's kind of political, but not really, because I'm in the housewife world, and no, we're on live, we're going politics with you. But Trump announced that there's now, and believe me, I'm in the housewife world, and there's not just two genders, but he just announced that, what?
I am so happy about it. Like, finally, we're going back to normal.
are
Two
That's-
genders.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, just get
Male,
normal.
female,
I mean,
chromosomes.
It only
What do you-
gets so ridiculous.
Yeah.
We were getting to the point of just
Identifying as a
ludicrousy.
cat.
As a cat.
Okay,
Did
give
you
me-
see
Okay,
that?
animal genders should not have existed. You're right.
None of
What
that.
about- but I was filling out some form, like, I don't know, it was a TSA form or something, and it's like, you have the drop-down box. I literally had to keep scrolling. Like, there was like,
Really?
Oh, to check your box?
yeah, like what gender, what's your gender? I'm like,
Okay, so I have a question then. Say hermaphrodites. They're born with a penis and a pussy. So my question is, what chromosome are they?
Well, then
But-
they should just pick one at birth. And
I think that's what they
decide.
do,
Yeah,
but that's how that works.
Well, what if you're born?
Is it Lady Gaga? I don't
What if you're born with a uterus?
Remember that?
A uterus?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Only women are born
Okay,
with
now we're getting
uteruses.
confusing again.
Only
say-
women are born with uterus.
Only women are born with uterus.
If
They
you
can
can
only
have
do-
a baby,
Right, if you can have a baby.
Is there a doctor in the
I don't know,
house?
if you can have a baby, then you're a female.
female. Yeah.
Okay, so
Because
I
you
was
have-
you
just
question
told.
that.
I know.
She's like, wait, you're a female.
Yeah. Just think about that for a second.
Wait, I heard we're all born women, and then our balls drop. Is that true?
Some people have bigger balls.
Yeah.
They drop harder and louder.
So is it true we're all born women first, and then your balls drop, and then you become a male or female?
That's what I
I
hear,
don't
but I don't know.
There's an X and a Y.
We'll have Dr. Barkey back on. There's an X and a Y. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but okay, I'm just saying that
I mean, I know a lot of guys. that
I
have
understand what
vaginas.
he's saying, and
I feel like they have vaginas.
they have vaginas.
I feel like
Yeah, you know a
based
lot
on
of
their
guys with
decision-making
vaginas.
skills.
Okay.
Can you, if you're a hermaphrodite, can you have sex with yourself?
I was always wondering.
Whoa! I just got a
I
visual
was
on
just
that.
saying.
Hey Siri.
Google that one.
I mean, I thought about that. I'm like, can you?
I don't know. That's
That's visualization.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure that's a new genre of porn, actually.
Maybe that's a new
Like,
classification of person. You know, it's like apparently like frogs can morph into a female and a male. You know.
yeah.
But back to your original question is that there's two, like Trump's like, okay, there's two sexes. Like, I don't think anyone really has a problem with that. I think that you're dealing with like less than 1% of the population that would even give a crap about multiple sex. Like, it's like going into kindergarten and everyone's got the blocks out. The teacher like puts all the blocks in one little area. It's like, that's what Trump's doing. He's like an adult babysitter
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, you're not going to be able to identify as a cat anymore. You're going to have to be able
But
to
that was
handle it.
ridiculous. They had to put like litter boxes
yeah.
in
Yeah.
schools. I mean, that was actually, that's mental illness.
It is
That's
mental
not,
You know how many tampons I've used from the men's bathroom?
To do what?
were you smoking them?
You wet them and throw them at people. Duh.
Or if you have a
Put it with
nosebleed.
gasoline and throw it.
You have a nosebleed.
But he's doing
right,
it
on
but he's
that
doing it
note-
for sports though too. I think with these sports and all this stuff that's
Yeah, okay.
happening.
Oh,
Yeah,
which,
that's
that's
huge.
a whole other-
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
I
talk
just-
about that. And I
yes.
think that's why he's doing it.
Right.
The
Yeah.
men that were beating up women in sports.
That's just one of the reasons. But I mean, I think that's actually separate. But I think that the way that where is all the women's movements?
Right. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, what happened to the
Yeah.
That completely killed women's sports. Like watching the guy boxer. Like this woman's like undefeated, right? And all of a sudden this one guy's like, boom, and she's all
Yeah.
like what? Like that's
Yeah.
just embarrassing. And then nobody says anything.
Yeah.
Like what?
You're
too-
right. Nobody
Nobody.
ever stood up to the plate
Nobody.
Yeah.
to these men that literally clearly identify as men.
Yeah.
And but how
I
did
think
we
you should
even
show,
get
have
to
to show
that?
your vagina before you get in the
Whoa.
ring. That's
Jackie, you have to be a stripper. Prove that you can strip on a stripper pole, and then no, just kidding. Okay, so let's. Does anybody else have anything else to talk about besides gender right now? No, but I think
Can someone change my litter box?
you just
please?
threw.
Wait, so does that remove pronouns?
Yes, thank God.
Oh wait, so that's true.
Oh.
Do we have
Yes.
to?
Thank God. Like I'm just so sick
Did
of
you
the
see-
pronouns. Like I saw one that this guy put on his Insta or something. It says, like it was /the
Oh.
shit or something. That's what he was like identifying as. And I was like, at least there's humor in this.
I love there was
because,
one. There's one thing is like if you walked in with a resume that says your pronouns on the bottom, you might as well just walk right back out of the office. Like no, you're a liability at that point.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
if you walk in, it's like it was already hard enough for like if a woman's going on a trip with another male coworker, like the bosses already had to worry about liability with that, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to worry about like. You know, the liability of like, if they're offended
Offending
by
them.
this.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't have the litter
no.
box clean when I was at the office. Like, you know, it's just, yeah. So,
Well, I think a lot's going to change, and I'm, we're coming in. We just started 2025. We've had. Let's talk a little bit about the fires. And a lot of people are affected. A lot of we had a president say, I mean, okay, I need to talk about this because it's driving me crazy. And I wasn't going to go too political on this, but the fires hit. Trump came into office. Biden exercises his power and
the pardon power.
pardon power
Pardons all his
on Martin Luther
family.
King Day. And it's like all this stuff happened all in 1 2-week period.
Yeah.
We're in chaos. LA's burning down. And, we're still trying to keep our productions up and crews happy and people traveling. And I mean, it's insane right now. How do you guys see Los Angeles recovering from the fires with this with everything going on in the next 6 months? What's going to happen here?
I think, well, first of all, did you see when Trump landed in LA? Newsom sitting on the bottom of the stairs, just all like, just waiting like a kid waiting for his parents to
Yeah.
come home, right? And because I feel like he has no choice but to get federal aid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he is going to be kissing some major Trump ass, like, and it was obvious at that little press conference
Yeah.
they did, like, because he has to have federal aid, and like, because he's done. If people don't get some sort of aid in LA, like he's out. Not only is he out, but his whole political aspirations are done. But the best was the conference between Trump and the mayor of LA. Like she's like, it's gonna take about 18 weeks to. He's like, you need to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
At noon.
By noon
At noon,
tomorrow.
yeah, by noon
She's like,
tomorrow.
well, it needs to be safe. He's like, make it safe and do it by noon
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
It's common sense stuff.
Yeah.
That he's, I
I like
gotta
the
be
common
fixed.
sense
It's
is
common
missing.
sense,
It's
yes.
lacking.
yes, I feel like he's bringing it back.
it's bad.
Yeah.
I just like how he's like making sure that all these permit things are waived and that people can just start, rebuilding without all the waiting game of the permits.
See, I
and
don't know.
stuff.
I still think that's going to be a nightmare.
But
Like,
so the insurance carriers won't cover natural disasters, but there was people lighting fires all over in LA. So insurance carriers are covering that. So I think that was smart on LA's part to start burning themselves down because now you can't prove if it was arson or if it was a natural disaster.
That's a big conspiracy.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you got the homeless people just causing.
It's a homeless.
No,
yeah.
creating
guy-
havoc. Like,
A homeless guy said he was paid $20 to burn down a gym.
Wow.
So
$20, that's it.
$20. So I mean,
deal.
he was handed a
I would give
lighter
40 to clean
and
my house.
gasoline. So I mean, for $20, I mean,
I mean, he also could have just said that. It's like, the governor gave me $20 to light this fire, which I would believe, actually.
well, I let's talk conspiracy right now. What about the lasers coming out of the sky,
Okay.
burning down LA? No, you don't think LA was like, Hawaii? I'm just curious.
That's assuming Hawaii was like
it's-
that. But like,
yeah.
it's just, I mean, government can't do anything remotely. Like, that conspiracy that's
okay.
Elon, number one, Elon's got some pretty sophisticated like surveillance from the skies. Like, he's got like half of the satellites he has access to. Like, I think he would just lay low on that.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's getting,
So this was all a natural disaster. Like literally the winds kicked up
It was. And I think
at the right time.
It could have been.
It was a trifecta of shit all at once.
It could have been propagated, like it started, and then like, oh, this is our opportunity, or whatever. But I don't think that it was set or written.
There's no water. Okay, so do you think the citizens should sue the
Oh.
city?
Oh yeah.
Well, and did you see that Spencer and Heidi
Spencer
are
and
the
Heidi.
first ones to start a
Oh.
lawsuit on that, and they're probably going to win. And if they win, how many more lawsuits are going to come?
It'll be a class
Everyone's
action.
gonna
California
say
will go bankrupt.
Yeah.
They're smart for starting it. They're kind of weird. Can't stand them actually.
How much does California have to? You end up having a $50 billion lawsuit. California can't support that.
Yeah, they're gonna file bankruptcy.
They would. California was
you have
bankrupt
to-
for a while, like back before Schwartz. I think it was before Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you guys watch the Joe Rogan interview with Trump? So this was done did you watch? It was done like what, in October?
Oh,
September,
yeah,
October?
yep.
And he was talking about the fires back then.
Yeah.
He was saying how there wasn't enough water, and he told them, "You guys, like, what's going on? You guys should be
Trump,
clearing out all this shrubbery." And Newsom's like, didn't.
Well, Trump gave him money when he was in office to fix the forestry, to do the forestry, right?
Yeah.
And Newsom just spent it on something on hair gel or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
Shut up,
was it the
Keith.
little fish? Or
Fish.
something? They're trying to save the fish.
Yeah, that's what is it?
So
The smelt.
let's
Yes, the
talk
smelt.
about
Smelt fish.
you smelt fish. You're an expert in real estate in Orange County, but you also have properties in Vegas. So what do you predict the environment for real estate in Orange County is going to be? Because I know that I housed many families in my properties, my short-term rentals. I took them off the market for a month. I've been moving families in and out. There's nowhere for them to go.
No.
Like I feel bad when they're moving out. Some of them are going back to homes that are there, but the air quality is very poor in Los Angeles. But for the most part, there's nowhere for people to go. So, I mean, people are price gouging right now. What's going to happen with Orange County real estate? I'm just curious.
Well, definitely people are price gouging, and so they're trying to put a kibosh on that. And I think they can raise it up to like 10%. So if you look at some of the listings that were like rentals. Yeah, but I have to tell you,
buying.
and even buying. Like if you look at what's come on the market, like we only have like 135 homes on the market right now, but since the fires, like maybe we got like 30% more houses on the market. Houses that are in Three Arch Bay that were going for like $12,000 are now $40,000
Oh yeah.
Out here in Orange County.
out here in Orange County,
Interesting.
which is
What about the
great.
sales
Yeah.
market?
The
Like, what about what's the premium that?
Mine has never changed. Just note to self, mine is still $55,000 a month on the beach.
I'll take 4 months.
I did not change.
Yeah, but I could see why people are doing that because they're like, oh, let's take advantage of this opportunity. Just like, people that lost their houses in Pacific Palisades, agents are getting so many phone calls trying to buy their land. And then that's
so
a whole
sad.
other can of worms. Like, how's that?
Is that unethical? I thought you're not allowed to. Oh yeah, I get calls every day to sell my house.
Yeah, I was just told today, I just read today that the state property taxes, they're going to minimize them down to property value, to land value until the houses are rebuilt. But my hope is when they do that,
That's
when they
even worse
rebuild
than-
them, they don't raise the property value to the price of what the house is
The whole
now.
thing is in land, right? So your house is 10 million. So you're at 10 million, right?
Yeah.
The land's worth 8 of that.
Right.
So what are you
Yeah.
doing? Saving $2,000 a year? Like, sweet,
Yeah.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm paying property tax on something that I don't even live in. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. So do you think they should just halt property taxes altogether?
I think that.
That would be the nice thing to
It
do.
would be a nice thing to do, but I mean,
But you got Newsom. He doesn't give a crap.
yeah. But
I
the
mean,
reality
I
is,
think you should do that.
How much longer is Newsom in
So
we have a year left, right?
They're trying to get him out. I think, right?
They won't get him out. We're stuck
They've
with him.
Now's
I
the
think
time.
they've got to get rid of him.
I think we're stuck with
Yeah.
him.
What do you think about Caruso?
No,
Is that?
Well, it's just sad that our
mean-
leadership, I consider California almost, it's like a superpower in the States, and we have such a great economy, and we just have horrible leadership.
Yeah.
Horrible.
think about what would happen if we actually had good leadership.
Like, yeah.
Where it was just like the property taxes, everything was just low. Like,
Yeah.
you'd have people fighting to get into the state to do business.
Yeah.
Like, people are
just leaving like
We're leaving.
like it's the plague.
Yeah.
Like, get me
Yeah.
out of here. I mean, I've thought of it too, but it's just such a pickup and like kind of crazy thing.
Well, I just wanted to kind of update, everybody on, is there any more resources that you guys know about that people can donate to? I know that there's still the fire funds are still going on. We've got,
There's a lot of fake ones I was seeing too. Like, so
Have you?
So shady.
Yeah.
It is.
But the mayor, he has a really good one called the Friendly Center. Have you heard that
what's it
one?
called?
The Friendly Center.
The mayor
Friendly
of LA?
Center.
The mayor, no, here.
Stapleton?
Oh, Joe Stapleton.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Which is great. And he also has emergency relief fund. And then what he's doing is because we feel a lot of people are going to be moving from Pacific Palisades to Orange County, especially Newport Beach, because it's so similar.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's actually doing like a welcoming committee that they
Did like a bunch. Yeah, I
Did
saw
you see
I
that?
saw that.
Oh, that's
I think that's amazing.
I texted him and I was like, please don't bring if you're gonna come down to Newport, don't bring your LA liberal mentality.
Oh yeah.
I don't. We're
texted
cool
him?
without
We're cool, right?
Our fire hydrants work. Okay, we
We got enough water.
Well, did you see Stapleton was standing on our reservoirs? He's
Yeah.
like, and they're full of water.
And they're
He's
full of water.
bouncing up and down.
Not
I'm
like LA. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should have been because the reservoirs up in LA. They said they were under maintenance last year, and there was all this red tape. They couldn't get it fixed, and then they had to outsource the contractors. Is why it didn't get fixed.
Yeah.
So that's a big lawsuit in itself, right there.
100%.
So
That's just the definition.
Okay, so what was the name of that charity?
The Friendly Center.
Friendly Center.
Yeah, the
so
Friendly
that's,
Center.
Mayor Stapleton's.
That's Mayor Stapleton, and then they have the Emergency Relief Fund, which actually only has like $500,000 in it, which is not a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah, that's not. So there's still, requesting more donations, which is great. But I love how the city has, and not just LA, but Altadena and us. Like, you really saw the community coming together.
Yeah, it was
right?
great.
Like, I mean, you're already emotionally. I can't imagine losing my house that I've lived in for 30 years. I raised my children there. And,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's gone. I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think more. I think less other people are going to rebuild. I think they're just going to
Move.
sell and move.
They're
I
gonna
wouldn't
move.
want to deal with the
65%.
air. They
Yeah.
said it's like a foot beneath their home
Yeah.
that they're going to have to clear out all that extra,
And now it's raining, so now they've got mudslides.
Yeah.
Their houses
Yeah.
are all slipping down now. There's
Yeah.
it's a wasteland up there, it's crazy to me.
It's got to be at least probably 3 to 5 years before that's. I mean,
It's so sad.
minimum 3 to 5 years. I mean, look at Hawaii
Yeah.
with their disasters. They just started clearing out 2 years ago. They just started like clearing out everything in Hawaii.
Wow.
So I think, and Palisades is actually not that big. It's only like 23,000 people live in Palisades.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of them are going to start moving,
Did you
closer
find
to-
people are moving to Vegas? Because you have properties in Vegas
yeah,
too, right?
yeah, I do. A little bit more here. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the minute the fire started, phone call just ringing off the hook for rental properties. But the problem with the rental properties here in Newport Beach is a lot of them don't have furniture. Like, I lost everything.
I'm
gonna
fully
rent-
furnished.
Yeah. So if you have a fully
So-
furnished, and I heard that Living Space is actually in California is actually donating furniture to the victims. So when they rent a house, they have fully
Oh,
furnished.
that's a great
That's nice.
idea.
Yes.
That's actually
yes.
a really great
yeah,
idea.
yeah. So
the
good
rent
on-
tone sounds like a good idea now, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. If you're a property owner and you have a rental property, you're in Newport Beach, you're sitting pretty right now.
Seriously.
Like, the world is your oyster, unfortunately.
Well, our new format is every week we're just going to come on and we're going to talk about current events on our live. We kind of just threw everything together today because we didn't. With the fires, the format's a little different. The format's not quite what we were hoping, right out the gate in 2025. But we wanted to get some content out to you guys, get you guys some updates, get you guys some resources to donate, to kind of give you the 411 on the juicy scoop of Beverly Hills Housewives in Orange County. I like the cast. I'm liking the cast of Orange County. I like Gina and Emily, and I like all the old school and Shannon and
Yeah.
Katie and Jen and everybody. But
Who's your favorite?
What?
Who's your favorite? Come on.
Right now, my favorite is Katie.
Is it?
Yeah,
Katie.
I hit it off with Katie. I thought she went to an event with me. We went to a domestic violence type event, which I didn't really advertise that we did. She was kind enough to go with me. Apparently she has some history in that. Yeah. And she was just kind and she was genuine. And I just kind of hit it off. I was like, well, thank you for being there for me. Yeah. She was super cool and she was just genuine. So yeah, Katie's it.
Katie's
it. Thank you for watching this episode of Tea Time by Girl Talk. Until next time, I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
Keith Maximillian.
Tiffany Sowersby.
Frances Carr Dunn.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, support us on Patreon, watch the next video, and follow us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Peace, love, and happiness. Woo! We made it!